going on, everybody? Welcome to the Freedom Fire podcast, where we want to stoke the flames of freedom every single day. My name is Kendall Bowman, and ladies and gentlemen, I've said multiple times on this show that, you know, it's a little known fact that as we get closer to an election, to a major presidential election, that things are going to get wild. It's going to get crazy. People will be losing their minds. It's going to get insane, okay? People are going to be doing incredibly stupid things. There's probably going to be a lot of corruption going on because ultimately when people are trying to hold on to the power of the greatest nation that's ever existed on this planet, you can expect some shenanigans to be done. However, we are not even into 2024 yet, and I'm going to go ahead and put it out there that at this point, we might not even get to the election before something really bad happens. Let's just say that. And I'm seeing things like that from stories like this. From The Messenger, Donald Trump's New York business empire must be dissolved, judge rules. Legal experts have described the extraordinarily rare order issued against Trump's major businesses as the corporate death penalty. Let's read. New York judge on Tuesday canceled the certificates of the key businesses behind the Donald Trump empire, ordering a quick timeline to dissolve the Trump Organization and other corporate entities. Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Arthur Engoron's blockbuster ruling found that the former president and his business leaders failed to correct course after being warned of a propensity to engage in persistent fraud. The 10 corporate entities named in the lawsuit, you can read those if you want. It's just lots of confusing mumbo jumbo. All of those certificates must be canceled under New York's general business law. The same fates against New York entity controlled or beneficially owned by Donald J. Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Alan Weisselberg, and Jeffrey McConey under the terms of the order. Legal experts call that extraordinarily rare punishment the corporate death penalty. Trump's attorney, Alina Habba, vowed to appeal the decision, which she called fundamentally flawed at every level. The fact that this court summarily, I'll get to that in just a second. The fact that this court summarily found that there is no question of fact, finding in part that Mar-a-Lago is worth approximately $20 million and issue a decision of this magnitude is an affront to our legal system, Habba told The Messenger. We intend to immediately appeal this decision because President Trump and his family, like every American business owner, is entitled to their day in court. And that right there is exactly what is important about this. Trump's legal team wanted this to go to court. They wanted this to go to court. This judge and Letitia James, who is the attorney general, or I believe it's the attorney general or the DA. I forget exactly what it's called. The attorney general, I believe. Letitia James is the attorney general bringing these charges against Donald Trump. She ran her campaign for attorney general on the idea that she was going to destroy Trump. She ran her campaign on that premise. That's how she won. Okay. Then you have this judge who said, "Oh, I'm just going to go along with it. I'm not going to take this to court, even though that's exactly what should have been done." He just agreed with Letitia James and instantly went to summary judgment. Now, for those of you who don't know what a summary judgment is when the two parties present their arguments, present their evidence, and rather than just it being judged by a jury of your peers, the judge will just make a decision based on what he's seeing. Okay? The problem with this is that this is a hasty decision that is destroying literally a corporate empire. Okay? I want you to see this right here. Trump Organization Inc. The Trump Organization LLC. Look at that. This is Donald Trump. This judge is literally saying, we're going to take everything that you built and we're going to destroy it. Why? Because of some fraud charges. Now, for those of you who don't understand, fraud in the state of New York would usually get you a fine. if especially in a civil court, in you know what I'm saying, if you're in a civil court, usually the judge is like, all right, you committed fraud, here's a $100,000, $250,000 fine, and we'll go on about our merry way. Because fraud, especially in this case, because there's zero evidence that anyone was harmed. Zero evidence that anyone was harmed. Now, whether or not Donald Trump actually committed fraud, I have no idea. This is just what I'm reading. If he did, I'm not really a fan of it. It's not cool. But in terms of the worst things that you could do, really? You're going to destroy a corporate empire and basically nationalize this empire over what? Some fraud? Really? And you have the fact that this case was past the statute of limitations, meaning that Letitia James had zero right to bring these charges in the first place. Zero. This is the statute of limitations on the crime of fraud in the state of New York is 6 years, meaning that you have to bring the charges within 6 years or you can't bring charges at all. If you didn't bring charges back then, why are you bringing charges now? Oh, that's right. Both the judge and the GA in this case have said that they hate Donald Trump and want to destroy him. Past the statute of limitations, an absolutely insane ruling made by summary judgment. Yeah, this is definitely going to get appealed, and in my opinion, I believe that this ruling is going to be overturned, or at least I'm hoping so. That's insane. The idea that an attorney general can just say, "Oh, this is past the statute of limitations," Oh, I don't care. I'm just going to bring the charges anyway. And a judge will just go along with that. And the fact that alone can destroy your entire life, everything you've built, everything you've worked for in your entire life can just be ripped away from you, even though the attorney general has no right to bring the charges against you. If you weren't going to bring the charges back then, why bring them now? Why? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. The point of this video, guys, is we are slowly spiraling as a nation. We are spiraling as a nation. We're falling apart. This country is falling apart. The fact that this attorney general can just quite literally illegally bring these charges against Trump. This is past the statute of limitations. It's past the statute of limitations. She has zero right to bring these charges. Zero. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Our justice system is corrupt. Obviously our federal government and even many of our state governments are completely corrupt. I don't know, man. I don't know where we go from here. Because as we get closer and closer to 2024, we know things are going to ramp up and things like this are only going to get worse. Guys, I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is that the Democrats in this situation and in many other situations are trying to elicit a response from you, a violent physical response. Ladies and gentlemen, don't give it to them. They want you to be violent. They want you to be angry. Don't give it to them. I mean, you can be angry, but just don't get violent. Don't get physically violent with anybody. That's not what we want, because ultimately that right there is what they are waiting for. The Democrats are waiting for a Republican or somebody who's associated with Republicans or Trump or whatever to do something stupid. And then they're going to get their media apparatus to just carry it. Just carry it. So, oh, violent extremists. Oh, they're evil. They hate you. They hate America. Oh, white nationalists. They're going to use it to win. That's what they're waiting for. We have the Democrats on the ropes. Democrats are on the ropes, man. They're done at this point. Over 5 polls now have shown Donald Trump getting like 17% of the black and Hispanic vote. Guys, that's not normal for a Republican candidate to be able to do that. That's not normal at all. And if it does happen, it's over. I mean, it's over before the election even starts. Like, my goodness, man. Like, yeah, I'm telling you, if that happens, if Donald Trump is able to get that much of the vote from the black and the Hispanic communities, it's already over. The election is already over. Donald Trump has already won. There's no cheating that you can do to make up for that number. There's not. I mean, not without, not without it being blatantly obvious to everyone on the freaking planet that you cheated. I mean, guys, I don't know, man. I think that this is ultimately grasping. These Democrats are grasping at straws, trying any way that they can to defeat Trump. And I think it's going to fail. I do. I don't know how. Because the state of New York is corrupt as they come, man. I mean, this is way past the statute of limitations. Just way past that. 6 years. 6 years. Do you guys know how old Donald Trump's corporate empire is? Definitely a lot older than 6 years. It's been a long time. Guys, this is way past the statute of limitations. Letitia James had zero right to bring these charges whatsoever, and this judge had zero right to even make this decision. I mean, if the charges are past the statute of limitations, and the Attorney General knows that, and the judge knows that, then the judge should decide, oh, this is past the statute of limitations. You don't have any right to bring these charges in the first place. Bang the gavel. It's over. But, of course, this is the state of New York, very liberal, very Democrat, and they hate Donald Trump. And that's all apparently that's all the motive that they need to be able to do what they want. That's all the motive that they need to take Trump down. That's all the motive that they need to go after him, to try to destroy his life, to try to destroy his businesses. Yeah, man. The real question is, what happens when they put their sights on you? What happens when the Democrats decide, oh, okay, now we're not going after former presidents anymore. Now we're not going after millionaires anymore. Now we're not going after journalists anymore, which they have been doing, by the way. Now we're going to go after you, the average, everyday citizen. They've already done it in some cases. A lot of the January 6th people who literally should have just gotten charges of trespassing. What's the max punishment for trespassing? Like a few months of jail time? Like I don't know what the max punishment is. I mean, it kind of seems ridiculous for trespassing that you would even get a few months of jail time, but if that's the max punishment, then sure, that's what should have been done. And instead, you've had these people locked up without a trial for literally years now. These people have been just locked away without a trial. That's what's important. Without a trial. So there's been no trial to even prove that these people were there, to prove that these people were even trespassing. They've just been arrested and they've been held in a freaking prison cell. for years. There was images of one guy being held in what's basically a broom closet. Ladies and gentlemen, it's getting insane, man. Now, more than ever, is the time for you to fight back. You got to speak up and fight back, man. Because if they get the hint, or if they get the sense that they can walk all over you and that they can take whatever they want from you, guess what? They'll do it. If they'll do it to a guy like Donald Trump, they'll do it to you. Don't let them. Don't let them do it. Fight back. Speak up. Speak up now. Get out in the street. Protest. Register people to vote. Show people in the communities about things like this. People who might not be paying attention to politics. Show them things like this. And say, look what they're doing. You think they won't do this to you? I don't know, man. I don't know. But we got to keep fighting back. We got to keep fighting back. Not physically, not violently, with, protesting, marching in the streets, filing lawsuits against idiots like this Letitia James she had zero right to bring these charges. It's past the statute of limitations. It's over. It's over. If the charges weren't brought up back then they're not going to be brought up at all. That's the fact. That's the statute of limitations. 6 years for fraud. If you don't bring it within 6 years, well, then what the frick are you waiting for? It's over. Just forget it. And the fact that they could present no evidence that anyone was harmed. Well, if there's no victims of a crime, then how is it a crime? If there's no victims, then how can you sit here and say that this is a crime? Oh, Donald Trump committed this crime against somebody. We don't know who, but he did it. What? This is blatant corruption. This is blatantly political. Everyone knows this. I mean, there's been polls that have come out where it's like 70% of American people know that this is all freaking political. It's like the overwhelming majority of people have we just know at this point. This is political. This is bull crap. We can tell. It's blatantly obvious. But they just keep on moving. They just keep on keeping on. I don't know, man. What do you guys think is going to happen in the future? What are some things that you think will happen as we get closer to the 2024 election? Let me know down in the comments. I will have another video for you guys coming on Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comment section, share the show with your friends. Follow me on all the socials down in the description and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we put out new videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.